Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and welcome to a special edition of Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And I'm here today to talk to you about High Kick Angels, the 2014 movie, Japanese movie, that was directed by Kazuhari Yokoyami. And so I hope I pronounced that right. Now I know the title of my template is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, but whenever I do these videos with this template, it's pretty much just an appreciation for all Asian media and stars. Plus, one of the actresses who's in this movie, Mayo Kawamoto, she's actually born in America and stuff like that. So let me see if I can say her name again. Mayu Kawamoto. So she plays one of the High Kick Angels. She plays Oscar. And so yeah, she was actually born in America and stuff. And so this movie is really, really, really funny with some really good action. It's an action comedy movie. And you know what? At first, I wasn't even gonna watch this movie. Cause see, here's the thing, my history of this movie. Years ago, I was on YouTube just randomly searching YouTube videos for action fight scenes, right? And something popped up that said Asian female action scenes or something like that. So it was a bunch of different female action stars who did martial arts and stuff like that from movies, and actresses I've never even heard of before. And one of them was this one actress whose name I cannot pronounce. And she's a Japanese actress and martial artist from a movie called High Kick Girl. And so when I went to YouTube and searched for High Kick Girl, that would come up, but then also what would come up was High Kick Angels. And so I thought, oh, okay, maybe High Kick Angels might be a sequel to High Kick Girl, but it's not. The plot's completely different. The stars are completely different. It's just something completely separate. The girl who actually did High Kick Girl also went on to do Karate Girl Kick of the Groin and stuff. And so both plots of those movies are extremely similar. Basically what it is in the first movie, the High Kick Girl is a very stubborn brown belt, and she wants to be a black belt, but her karate sensei believes she's not ready, but she's very stubborn. So what she does, she goes around town beating up black belts and stuff like that until a random gang comes in and who has ties to her master and wants to hurt him and captures her and all this other stuff. And then the second movie, which is a kind of similar plot, where this time it's the same actress and the same actor who plays the master, but this time they're related, and they're both really good at martial arts, and the gang comes in to steal his black belt, which is called the sacred black belt. And so they kill him, and so she's really good at martial arts. This instructor wants her to teach at his school, and she finds out she has a sister she forgot all about, and her sister's part of that gang. And so that's those movies and stuff. And so it can get kind of confusing when looking for them, because sometimes the internet will confuse High Kick Angels with High Kick Girl. And so High Kick Girl and the other movie I told you, they're dubbed in English. And I've said this before, I do not like watching dubbed movies, only because the mouth movements of what the original stars are saying and the American voice actors, sometimes they line up, sometimes they don't. And it just feels jarring, and it freaks me out. So I don't like watching stuff that's dubbed, unless it's anime. I don't mind if that's dubbed in English because that just flows perfectly with whatever voice they have with them and stuff. But when it comes to like live action, oh no. And so when I found out that High Kick Angels is not dubbed and instead has subtitles, I bailed on it. But then I got curious. I'm just kind of like, years ago, I saw the action sequences on YouTube, and I'm like, there was some pretty good action sequences, and I want to see what the movie's about. So I'm all like, okay, maybe I can, read the subtitles. I don't like reading subtitles. I want to see what's going on screen without having to actually read what's going on screen. Because, when you start to read, and you have to read really fast because people talk fast and stuff, and it's like you miss what's going on in like the movie. So I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it, right? I'm so glad I watched this movie. This movie is hilarious. I mean, it's hilarious and stuff. Like, and so that's one thing I've said about streaming. Like, thank God for streaming because, like, I get to see comedy TV shows and stuff from like other countries like Ireland, England, and New Zealand, and it's so much different than like American comedy. And I now understand why so many Americans say they hate, like, watching something in English dub because it takes away from, what the Asian stars bring in their voice quality and stuff like that. So I totally now understand. Well, at least when it comes to live action. When it comes to anime, I still will prefer the English dub. And, this is probably like the third Japanese movie I've ever watched. I've never, and what's interesting about that? It's like I haven't seen too many Chinese movies either, because I don't like know what they're saying, and I don't do dubs and stuff. But I've watched like a few. I watched a few that were dubbed and a few that were not, but it's only like a few. And so I can name probably about five, maybe six different Chinese martial artists, like actors and actresses and stuff. I can't do the same for Japanese. And I've always wondered to myself, like, who are some like Japanese like actors and actresses and who do like martial arts and what are their movies about? Because normally, like, you will always see like Chinese movies pop up in like either YouTube or like um they don't really get marketed to us, like, like unless it's like a mainstream one with like and stuff like that. Like, I think, what was it, House of Flying Daggers, I think it was, that was on like American television one time, and Crouching Tiger was, and Rumble in the Bronx and stuff like that. And whatever like hybrid American Chinese movie get made, that of course gets broadcast in America. But Japanese movies do not, for some bizarre reason. And so I've always been curious about that, and curious about like their different fighting technique from that of Chinese and stuff like that. And I honestly can't name not one single like Japanese like star. I can name some singers and stuff, but not when it comes to their movies. And so for now, like these girls and the one from High Kick Girl and the male actors are the only ones I know of. And so like, when I say this movie is hilarious, oh, I mean it is hilarious. So basically, the plot of this movie is like there's a group of high school girls, and they're filming a martial arts zombie movie, and they're called the High Kick Girls. And so, for some random reason, a gang comes to their school on the weekend because nobody else is there at the school except for them and the people playing zombies. And then so all of a sudden, a gang just like shows up at school, and they're looking for money that's been hidden at the school. I don't know if the money is real or funny money, but they're looking for it. And so at first, the girl or one of the girls thinks that, oh, these are just like, extras and actors coming to like, playing our like a little like fan made movie and everything. But then the other girls kind of realize, oh crap, this is like for real and everything. So they have to fight their way through like all the bad guys and stuff. It's a pretty like simple plot, like but the plot's a slightly bit stronger than High Kick Girl and the other movie and stuff. If I had to criticize this movie, my only criticisms would be that like the characters needed more development, and we need to really know a little bit more than who they are, other than just a bunch of girls who are scared and some can do martial arts and some can't. The villains needed better development because I don't know none of the villains' names, and I had to look the villains' names up. And they're pretty like one note generic villains. The plot is okay, but it's a little razor thin and everything. Like, it's just like, who hid the money there? How did this gang find that out? Where did they get the flash drives that has the layout of the schools? Why didn't the girls just escape through the window or through the doors and run home? Because it's kind of like, yes, the gang is all around campus and like, they're searching for the money, but for the most part, they're indoors and not outdoors. And if Maki can like, like enter the school without being detected by the gang, I'm sure they can like exit the school and everything and go get help, because they can't call for help because they have no cell phone service. They say they have no internet, and I'm pretty sure they don't, because like the one girl's using like a laptop, but she's just using the flash drives and they're not able to do anything else with that. So I get why nobody can like, they can't reach nobody on the outside. But like I said before, it's like, why couldn't they just like leave the like go through the doors, the windows, and just hightail it on out of there, unless the gang surrounded the entire building, but it doesn't appear to be that way. The action in this is like great. And not only that, but the acting's really good too. And the comedy really hits the mark, because the comedy is all in like, the high kick girls themselves. They're just like, well, all of them terrified except for two. So they're crying, they're like passing out. It's like they're like, they're giving up. And but then it's like it's so funny because it's weird. One part's weird. It's like the gang is in the school. They know the gang is in the school. They have fought the gang. They have ran from the gang. But then yet when they hide in like the props department, or two of them are trying to figure out how they're gonna get out of this situation, while the other three are just goofing around and everything. I'm just kind of like, dude, now is not the time to play around. And so the characters and stuff, I'll get into like the villains first. Okay, so let me just cut into my video real fast. At some point in time, I said that like I don't know of any Japanese like actors or actresses, and then at some point in this video, I will say, oh wait, the ones from Kill Bill. So the actress who played like Go-Go and stuff like that. But then I said Lucy Liu, but then that's only because in the movie she said she was half Japanese, half Chinese, but it turns out she is not. She's full Chinese, so discard that. However, I forgot about the stars from The Man in the High Castle, because all the Asian people there are Japanese. So yes, there are some Japanese stars I do know of. I just don't know of the international ones that come from like Japan that do like all the movies and stuff. All right, back to the video. Now, one thing I do like about Japanese like villains, oh wait, maybe I do know some Japanese like stars. I think there might have been some in that Kill Bill movie, I think. I'll have to look that up, but I don't know who they are personally and stuff. But yeah, I think actually now I do, to tell you the truth. And I think Lucy Liu is half Chinese and half Japanese. and stuff. So she might be like the only one I probably like know of. But yeah, I think I actually, but Kill Bill's not a Japanese movie. But like, but they had, I think, I'm pretty sure, yeah, they had Japanese stars there and stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, the villain. So there's J Rose. She is the leader and stuff. And she's this young female who, probably about like in her 20s or so, I'll say. She wears all red leather. And she has these giant red, like, eyelashes. I will give it up. Like, when it comes to Japanese villains in these movies, they do have a very unique presence to them, a really cool vibe. They have, like, they dress very, like, interesting. They dress differently. Like, the main ones dress differently from, like, the goons, and they have, like, this type of motif to them and stuff. So basically, she wants the money that's stashed away at this school, and she's extremely ruthless and stuff. J Kid appears to be a teenager. She's wearing a schoolgirl outfit, but not the ones that are at this school. And she pretty much is like the silent type where you kind of wonder, okay, what's she gonna do? What's she gonna do? When's she gonna do something like really cool, right? And so she plays a recorder. And her fighting style is really unique because now she will fight you like hand-to-hand combat, but she'll also use her recorder. But what's interesting about her is that she wears a dog collar around her neck, and she will only fight when you take the dog collar off and everything. And if you try to fight her with the collar on, all of a sudden she acts like she doesn't know how to fight no more, which is really odd and interesting, and they don't explain why that is. It reminds me of the Jet Li movie Unleashed, where he was trained as a child to act like a dog, and when the collar is on, he's as calm as could be, but once you take it off, he's like a fighting machine and everything. But we know exactly why he is the way he is. But we don't know why she is the way she is. Then there is the man in white. His name is a bit of a mystery to me. See, on Google, it is Otaka, and on Wikipedia, it is Owashi. And so I don't know what exactly his name is and everything because they don't really explain and stuff. And so because like I said, there's two different like names for him on like the internet, so I don't really know which is which. He wears an all white suit. He is kind of like one of the lieutenants and everything. And so he has big eyelashes, but only on the bottom part of his eyes. And he's a really skilled fighter because he can just beat the crap out of Maki and everything. And she's a really skilled fighter. Other than that, the rest of the villains are just like goons and stuff. Foot soldiers. So when it comes to that of our high school girls, our high kick angels and stuff, the main one with probably the most character development is like, oh, what's her name? It is Sakura. And so she is like the goofiest one out of the whole group of like four girls and stuff. They add a fifth one later. I'll get to her a little bit later. But she is like, the goofy one, the silly one, the one who kind of lives in her own world. Like she loves making school films and everything with her friends, and she likes to live life to the fullest. But she also likes the method act. Pretty much from the start of recording the movie to the end of recording the movie, she's basically just like in character. But she does deviate away from the method acting from time to time, but she mostly just stays like in character. When she knows she has to play a certain character, who has to defeat all the bad guys, she's just like living it up. And she is the second one who discovers the game. The first one is the zombie boy. I think his name is Tanaka. And so, he was playing one of, the zombies. And shoot, how did I say name? Sakura. Um, she hit him a little too hard. And so he goes outside, he sees the gang, and they capture him. She thinks, because she knows there's supposed to be a new girl coming in who's supposed to play the villain, and she assumes that J. Rose and is that villain, and J. Rose bought like a bunch of her friends who just happen to be like grown men and everything. She assumes that they're part of the movie, and oh, she has to like fight them all. So she goes down there and fights them. And so, like, at some point in the movie, when she gets her butt kicked by that J Kid and everything, she's just kind of like giving up to the point where she doesn't want to do this no more. But it takes Maki to like talk some sense into her and kick a little bit into her arms to like get her motivated again to not only finish this movie but to help save the rest of the girls and like stop the bad guys and stuff. Now, across from the other building, her friends are watching her. Now, the actress who plays Sakura, she is Canon Mayahara, and she's actually a kickboxer in real life. She's an actress, a model, and a kickboxer, and she just had a match last year where she won in about 36 seconds. So she is the real deal. Okay, so the rest of the High Kick Angels who were watching like across from the building, I'm probably just going to use this picture, the lineup picture, because it's hard to find individual pictures of them. I will try harder to find individual pictures of them and then just like type their name below. But like the far left is Maki. She actually isn't part of the group, but she was like, asked to be part of the movie for like the villain and stuff like that. And so she is the more serious one of like, this group and everything. She does not like stupid, silly, goofy people, and that's why she doesn't like Sakura and stuff. And so, like, she's one of the ones who's trying to figure out a way out of this situation along with the director and stuff. And while the other girls are acting all scared, she's also the one who has to give confidence to at least three or two of the girls and stuff. And so she's like, the silent, cool type, the one who always has like that cool look on their face and everything. And so I've been wondering for the longest time, why is this called High Kick Angels? Like, I know why High Kick Girl is called the way she is, because she just throws, well, high kicks and everything. And 99% of High Kick Girl fighting style is just throwing kicks. She rarely uses her hands. And so when I was watching this movie, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now. Maki is similar to this and everything. She throws high kicks and very high ones at that. And she rarely uses her hands in fighting. She probably uses about 98% of her feet to fight and everything. And so, like, yeah. Oh, okay, I just captured the pictures so I can like tell you better like who's who and like stuff like that. And so, like, Fuyami, she is the writer-director of, like, their school little movie and stuff like that. And she is the one with the little, like, short bob haircut. She wears glasses. Um, she's really nice, caring, and sweet. And she has to talk, like, when Maki doesn't like Sakura, she explains why these girls are like her friends and everything, how sweet and compassionate they are, especially the Sakura and stuff. And it really opens up like Maki's eyes to not judge a book by its cover and everything, to know that there's more meaning to like a person. She is the one who basically tries to figure out like what's really going on. When Sakura steals the flash drive from like one of the guys, like she realizes that there's money stashed away at like school and stuff like that, and that's what they want. And so, like, eventually she's captured by the bad guys and she's pleading with them to let her and her friends go and, like, this and that and stuff. So she's kind of like the leader of, like, the group. but who's just really like, terrified of the whole situation that's going on. But other than the other girls, she will at least talk to like the main villain and try to persuade them to like let them go and all this and that. Asuka is the one in pigtails. She's the one who was born in America. Pretty much, she's just terrified of the entire situation and like, cries and screams, but like she can also fight very well. So even though she's a skilled martial artist, she's just like terrified throughout the entire movie. Last is Miku, and basically she seems to be the youngest of the group, and she's not a martial artist, she's just a ballerina dancer. We never get to see her really do her ballerina stuff, but we do get to see her extend her legs like really, really far. Like that girl is amazing. And so she keeps telling them, I'm a ballerina dancer, I'm not a fighter. And she's the scaredest of the group, who's always crying, always sitting down, always screaming and hollering. And so Maki tells her, like, hey, your feet are really strong. Just use those to block when they punch you and stuff. So there's a scene that's really interesting to where one of the guys tried to punch her and she just throws her leg up, curls her toes and is like solid as a rock, and it hurts the guy's hand and everything. And so basically, like I said before, the gang comes to school. They have a bunch of flash drives. I'm not really sure what's on the flash drives and what they really say because I can't read Japanese. But like, it's in like a layout of the school, and somehow it tells them where like, all the money's at and everything. And so when the girls still wanted the flash drives, this is when J. Rose hires more goons and everything and puts a bounty on the girl's head. They eventually give up the flash drive and everything, but put an encryption on it to where they can't get into it. And so Fuyami, she decides just to give up the password, hoping and believing that J. Rose will let them go, but she betrays them and stuff. Betrayed. And so, like, they're like, when the girls start to fight like the lieutenants and stuff like that, they get their butts kicked. They get their hopes and like dreams of escaping, but then eventually some pep talk here and there from Maki, and they start fighting the bad guys again. In the end of the climax, we see J. Rose like trying to leave, but all of a sudden a zombie comes up and grab her. It's Tanaki and everything. And then so Sakura comes out there and is all like, no, we gotta finish this movie. See, one of the reasons why they keep filming because they want proof and everything of what's going on. And so after J. Rose got her butt kicked, the other girls up there still like cheering her on and filming and stuff like that, and they finished the end of their movie. So yeah, like it has a razor thin plot and everything, but the humor and the action and the camaraderie between like all the girls is really amazing in my opinion. Now you can watch this free on Tubi. YouTube, somebody uploaded it illegally on YouTube and everything, but you can also watch it there. But Tubi's free as well and is in better quality. Happy Asian and Pacific Islander month, everybody. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.